All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's talk this boxing. Happy today to everybody. Marcus Sevillin said, happy birthday, Martin the Don. Thank you very much. 52 years old today, 5'2". I've made it at least halfway, feeling good about it. Thank you so much. And by the way, Marcus Sevillin, thank you for supporting over on the Instagram with your donation to the Super Chat. My man, Adrian Vent in the building. What's good with you? Alma, how are you this morning? Justin Marsh, thank you so much thank you for the birthday wishes, and thank you for donating and helping with the Instagram channel. Thank you so much. My man, Alma said, good morning, Martin. Feliz cumpleaños, cumpleaños. God bless you. Many more to come. Enjoy your day. Enjoy It's Your Day. Yeah, I'll try. More than likely, I'm going to work through it, but, going to do some good reading and things like that, man. Try to stay close to home. Kemp Wells said, an intellectual mind is just like wine. It gets better with time. Big ups, homie. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I feel like I'm growing. Today, I'm going to work on having an empty mind. I know that's easy for a lot of y'all airheads out there, but for me, I know you dummies ain't got this problem. But for me, it's hard to stop thinking. And it's hard to stop everything from going. So today is a day that I'm going to practice just being very, very silent in my mind. But only after this, because we going in on Canelo. I'm not going in on Gervonta. I'm okay with Gervonta. I think Gervonta Davis got away with some shit. I had time to think about Gervonta, and I'm like, man, I think Gervonta Davis got away with something. Viva Tu Vida, what's good, man? Thank you so much. He said, happy birthday, Martin. I really appreciate what you're doing for the boxing community. I wish you a wonderful day. God bless you more. Thank you so much, and I will continue to keep pressing, for the boxing community. Kevin Wells, man, thank you so much, man. What's good, man? You look like Kelly Wells. Wonder if you know Kelly Wells. I haven't seen her husband in a long time, man, but you kind of remind me of him. Thank you to everybody that says happy birthday. The Arcanum said, happy birthday, Martin. I got to do an astrology reading for you. I'll include a fitness plan. Much blessings. Hope you have many more. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. I have been working out, getting diesel. I do need a plan, but I've been working out every day. That's part of my Fahim Satur in the building. What's going on, Fahim Satur, man? Happy birthday, Mr. Blackwell. Thank you very much. DASS family says, salute, Martin. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. And the Arcanum, thank you so much for supporting the Instagram, man. Corey Yellowman Jackson said, happy birthday, Martin. Peace, blessings, and may there be many more to celebrate. Thank you very much. Definitely gonna have a good time today. A good day today. Wrath Don, happy Earth Strong, man. Happy A. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate the good wishes. Tay Brown in the building. What's happening? Said many blessings. Thank you very much. I've been looking at your Instagram. I have been in positions where I haven't been able to hit the like, but I'm gonna make sure I come by and give you a bunch of likes. Tay, I hope you well. Pete Davenport, happy birthday, MB. Are you 1 or are you 2? Are you 3? Oh, I'm definitely 3. I don't like them. I don't trust them, and I'll tell you straight out. and I'll tell you straight to their face, man. If you're talking about my 1s and 2s and 3s, I'm a 3. Have always been a 3. Causes me a big problem, man. Sharon, man, what's going on? Southern Tea Boxing in the building. Sweet tea, beautiful as always. Oh, and I got in trouble yesterday. My wife heard me talked about the 3 dime pieces that I get to see every day when I go to this spot. She's like, 3 dime pieces, huh? It's like, damn. My voice carries way too much. But my wife knows I love her. I ain't doing nothing other than loving on my wife. Said, thank you, handsome. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you so much, Tay Brown. And may I say, I always enjoy your lovely pictures. What's blazing in sports? It said 2 to make it do what it do. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for supporting the Instagram channel, and thank you for the birthday present. I appreciate the birthday presents. Mike Biggs Boxing, my fellow light-skinned brother. How are you doing? What's good with you? Said, happy birthday, bro. Thank you very much, man. Leon Robbins says, salute, GOAT. Hey, thank you, man. N. Ramsey said, keep bringing the funky funk. Happy birthday, man. Thank you to everybody that's wishing a birthday. I want to make sure I don't miss Corey Yellowman Jackson. Yeah, I got Corey, but I'll do it again. Happy birthday, Martin. Peace, blessings. May there be many, many more to celebrate. I got to catch my phone. So let's start the conversation, man. And this is going to be my sister. Yeah, man, I look fat as shit. Wishing me a happy birthday. Sister is always the first one to wish me a happy birthday on my birthday. For pretty much my whole life, my sister's always the first one. But look, let's get into the conversation, okay? First things first. Big Block said, happy birthday, young man. Thank you, man. 52, I still feel like I'm growing, man, at 52 years old. 52 is not that bad, man. It's really not. 50s ain't that bad. 40s were a bitch. 30s were a bitch. I mean, 50 so far, 50's feeling a little better I feel better going into my 50s than I felt going into my 40s. Lord have mercy. I felt great going into my 30s. Going into my 40s, woo-wee, that was a mug, man. Going into 50s, got a little better. 50 is a lot better, man. So far, so good in the 50s. Exactly. We don't age. Savad Hall said, we don't age, we mature. I believe that. I really do believe that. I was walking this morning, went to go get myself a sausage sandwich, and I also drink this 7-Eleven energy drink, all natural energy drink, to try to keep away from the coffee. And I was thinking to myself, I really do feel like I'm continuing to learn. I'm continuing to grow. There are things that I want to understand. There are things that I understand that I want to master. And I was thinking to myself, man, I got if I take care of my body and everything, I could have another 40, 50 years. Another 40, 50 years to learn, to grow, to become a better person, right? To understand to the best that to help people, put other people in better situations. It's a blessing, man. I feel like, middle age, I guess I've got over my middle age hump. You know what I mean? Where you're still trying to be young, Harold Jones said, bless ups from Atlanta, Brother Blackwell. Thank you, man. Duke Doom said, blessings, B-Day blessings, Aries Nation, the 28th for me. Yes, sir. We roll it. We roll it, and we roll. So, Gervonta Tank Davis, I have to tell you, I don't care. He got indicted, 14 counts of stuff related to a hit and run, and I have a feeling that he is lucky to get that. Because I thought to myself, he crashed his car. It really wasn't that bad. His car, the damage to his car. And he admitted that he crashed his car. But he drove away from the scene before the police came and before the medical assistants, the medical people got there. Because what they said was it was fleeing the scene of an accident and not providing reasonable assistance to somebody that was hurt, right? And then some other things related to that. And I was like, I don't see anything driving while intoxicated. I don't see anything that says driving with concealed weapons. And I was like, if this is in Baltimore and he's driving around, I don't know what time of night, and in his Ferrari, more than likely, or whatever that was, more than likely, I would assume many people in that circumstance might have been drinking and also might have had a gun on them. But he said, I guarantee he was coming from a casino because it happened on Washington Boulevard and MLK Boulevard. Yeah. So if he's coming from a casino, that means more than likely they had been drinking, maybe puffing a little something, and they probably had weapons on them. So to ditch the car and get the fuck up out of there, I have to say I approve of that decision. I'm not his counsel. I'm not judging him, but I'm just saying, at least the dummy didn't stand there and be like, oh, I've got a gun. Nah, it's me. I'm out, though. Take a picture. I'll admit it. I'll pay for it, but I'm out, dude. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out. Larry Ibrahim Smith said, happy B-Day, Mr. Blackwell. Hey, man, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. And thank you for supporting over there on the Instagram, because we do have a lot of really good promotions we're doing over there. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, dog, it's almost like I want to say, hey, good job. Because, seriously, man, I'm sick of this shit, okay? I got to be honest. I do not live like a fucking hermit, dog. You know what I mean? Like, I don't live like a hermit. I want to live my life, dog. Like, for real. I'm a 52-year-old man, and I'm dead honest, dude. I got a wife. I love my wife to death. I ain't cheating on my wife. But, dog, I like to get out the house and go look at pretty women, and I like to drink. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, at 52 years old, I still am like, when is the urge to have fun going to go away? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's ever going to go away. Like, I don't think that I'm ever going to mature to the point where I don't want to seek out fun. So as long as I'm seeking out fun, I see other people seeking out fun, and they get themselves, he said, good job for not messing up. Oh, said, good job for not messing up too bad. That's what I'm talking about. Like, hey, man, hey. I've been there myself, dog. I've been there myself, man. One time, let me tell you, dude, this is a true story, man. I got pulled over. I had a blunt in the car, and I got pulled over for something. I wound up getting a ticket. They wound up towing my car or whatever, but I didn't let the dude search my car, and I wound up getting something where it got blown over, right? But I didn't see that car for at least 2 months, right? I didn't see the car, put it that way. I didn't see that car for 2 months. But when I finally got the car back, and I drove my car, dude, I just stuck my hand right down where I put that mug and kept it flying, and kept it moving, dog. So I'm like, you know, man, I'm just not in the prudish mood today. It's my birthday. I'm not going to lambaste that kid for being like, what am I going to tell him? Don't go outside. You know what I'm saying? Don't go outside. You know, drive around South Baltimore with no weapons. You know, nah, dude, I'm not going to tell him that, man. I mean, it's pretty much not safe to be driving around in Ferraris and stuff like that without weapons, man. And on top of that, dude, you got all that money, man. Who ain't going to want to go out and have some fun? You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry I'm being a bad role model today when I say, hey, dude, I'm glad it wasn't worse, Dion. I'm glad it wasn't worse, Gervonta. And that's about all I can say, man. Hey, thank you to everybody with all the birthday wishes. My man said, Cleveland Brown said, happy birthday, man. Thank you. B&B Boxing, Quentin Patin, Ebony Queen. What's good, Ebony Queen? D. Rayford, thank you so much. Sonny, thank you so much. Joe, how do you say it? Tomos, please forgive me. He said, too many potholes in Baltimore for a Lamborghini. Well, look, hey, Martin, stop capping. You just love Lil Tank. No, seriously, man. I do love Lil Tank. That's my dude, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, pause. I do like Tank. But seriously, man, come on, man. People get arrested in the United States for way too much shit, man. Like, I'm sorry. It's like, even like the Adrian Bronner thing. Yeah, he did a whole bunch of dumb shit, like with not paying the chick the money. But come on, man. Did she really deserve $800,000 just because he touched her on the back or something? You know, at a certain point in time, I got to be like, nah, I'm a little bit sick of stuff. You know what I mean? Personally, I think all he needs to do is just go ahead and pay for the guy's car. The kid probably broke somebody's leg, which is fucked up. But, you know, it is what it is. But no, I would say the same thing. You never heard me really get on Kovalev. Like, a lot of people will talk about Kovalev and talk about the treatment of Kovalev and all that. My personal opinion is that, you know, people need to go to court. And whatever happens in court happens in court. And that's their business. You know what I mean? There's just so many people, dude, that get arrested for things and so much trash on everybody's name that it's almost like, you know, come on, man. How many people had the same shit happen to them yesterday? You know what I mean? He said, yeah, that's ridiculous. He said, yeah, that was ridiculous. I can see 80K. Yeah, like 80K. Yeah. Like, you know, 80,000, but $800,000? That's just, you know, that's a little over the top, man. Yeah, racists love. Now, I don't know if the racists love anybody, but they will definitely stand up tall. They will definitely stand up tall for Sergey Kovalev. Four Division said, hopefully with 14 charges, he'll be okay though, because they are really on his case about this incident. Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, I'm sure. But like I said, it's better than having 29 charges on you. You know what I mean? But I'm sure something will happen to him. You know, he'll probably get not probation. What do you call it? He'll get something, but whatever. It is what it is. Nobody got hurt, man. You know, nobody got hurt. Yeah, pretty much nobody got hurt. So I'm not going to be bitching up a storm. I didn't bitch about Sergey Kovalev. With the dog and the woman and all that, I never really said too much about that because I didn't know what happened. And I figured that he needs to go to court. You know what I mean? I figured that he needed to go to court. And as long as he's going to court, you know, I'll take what happens. It's when people don't have to go to court that bugs me. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, this guy clearly did this stuff. Clearly there's a reason to do it. I mean, like some of those police shootings, it's like when they don't indict guys that just do things like drive by and shoot, you know, a 12-year-old kid, then it's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? That's not right, you know? But other than that, dude, I'm kind of like a live and let live kind of guy. Personally, I think, you know, that if people were able to handle stuff themselves and not through the police, a whole lot of stuff would get fixed a lot easier than it does. Whole lot of stuff would get fixed easier than it does. But you know what it is. Money Brown TV in the building. What's going on? He said those charges will be ran together. Yeah, they look like they were charges that are all like underlying that, like conspiracy to do this or, you know what I mean? And then, you know, they're probably going for headlines. They're probably going for headlines too. Joe Antel said, good morning, 6:15 a.m. Yeah, you know, we started real early around this morning. Buenos dias, amigos. Says Wilder smashes AJ and Fury. I believe that that's true. What has to happen though is Tyson Fury's got to man up. Got to man up and do them, man. Got to man up and add a fight. Pugilism Nino Brown said BS charges. Yeah, I mean, you know, it'll be what it is. All I'm saying is you're not gonna hear me jump down his throat about it because, you know, like I said, it seems like there was probably a reason for him to leave. You know, and the reason was, hey, man, I'm going to be looking at something. I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to be looking at. I'm not going to be looking at no gun charges, and I'm not going to be looking at no driving under the influence. Those I'm not going to be looking at. So as far as his quick-wittedness went, hey, man, I'm sorry. I got to give a little props for not getting stuck a lot worse than you can get stuck because, you know, that's exactly what they would have done, right? So take your ass home, sleep it off. Get rid of the gun, get rid of the gun and leave your car there. If it's his car, he gave the name, right? He reported what was going on and he left. He was like, hey, man, here, obviously, you know who I am. This guy was the driver. I don't know if that matters because it's his car, right? So he can still be held responsible because it was his car. So either way it goes, he was going to have to pay. You know what I mean? He'll black, run now, and figure it out later. Yeah, exactly. He black, run now, figure it out later. Yeah, he had to scoot, dude. He had to scoot. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear Andy call out Wilder? Nah, I don't care about anybody. Hey, Melvin Davis, what's up, though, man? I ain't too big on that, man. I don't care about I respect you leaving the comment. Thank you for the comment. On the real, though, Andy Ruiz need to worry about, you know, something else, dog, other than Deontay Wilder. Because Deontay Wilder is going to be fighting Tyson Fury. But I understand the need for people to get their name in the press and for them to get their some excitement and some buzz around their name. You know, that's happening a lot, man. And there's not much happening in the ring, so we can expect that to happen right now. Ryan Robertson, why is this being brought up 4 months later? I think that it was in October, but they filed the charges. They do their investigation and they file their charges when they file their charges. They did an investigation and decided to bring charges. And it took 4 months. I really can't tell you. Tank, don't be around gangsters like Hasim, Rahman, and Vincent Petaway was. I don't know. I'm sure he is, though. I mean, how can you avoid him? I mean, I don't know how you can avoid gangsters, really. if you're doing business in any way, shape, or form, you're going to run into him. So, he may not be closely associated with people that may have bad reputations, but people that are, affiliated with larger organizations, without a doubt, they are. Because there's almost no way that you can get advanced to the point that they get advanced without it. There's too many roadblocks to it. At least that's my observation, Ruiz should fight Ortiz if he wants some comp. Yeah, he get knocked out, though. He didn't want that. Yeah, I know he was indicted yesterday, but the car accident was 4 months ago. They also have video footage of the incident reportedly. Cool. As long as they ain't got no incident of him on a breathalyzer, you know what I'm saying? Or what he got in his pocket, that's what counts, man, because that seems like that was going to be a lot more. Ryan Robertson, also, I like the business side you bring to it. Knowing you're a trained attorney, I like hearing new terminology. Yeah, that's my point. Most of that stuff is not being an attorney, though. It's just it's just having been in business for a long time. When I'm talking about business is business. That's just me talking about that. That's pretty much just, just the business transactions that I've been involved with, and less representing people, but more just through the negotiations of deals. I'm a very good negotiator, and I'm a very good deal maker. And I've had a lot of experience doing that. So, and that's how I made my living for the most part. Pugilism Nino Brown said, they use Andy Ruiz as a roadblock for Wilder. They don't want to see him flatline AJ. That's why let's switch over to this Canelo thing, man. Canelo Alvarez is just an odd situation, man. That's an odd situation because he's a very, very good fighter. That really is just the double standard that he gets to operate under is so over the top, man. Terrence Crawford, I dropped a video about it. I dropped a video on it earlier today, so when this is over, you can check it out. But Terrence Crawford was on Sirius XM, and he was talking about Canelo Alvarez shying away from fighting black fighters. And he said, when his career is over, it's going to look like he shied away from black fighters, not having fought Jermall Charlo and not having fought Demetrius Andrade. And Mike Coppinger, and no disrespect to Mike Coppinger, I think, maybe it's just a reflex, reaction or whatever, said that because I think he said it was outrageous, and then he went from it being outrageous to Terrence Crawford's best opponent isn't the 10th best opponent on Canelo Alvarez's resume. And I thought to myself, wow, man, that shit is wildly wrong. Wildly wrong. First of all, what difference does it make if Terrence Crawford has never fought anybody in his life? He's not a middleweight. He still can see what Canelo Alvarez did. Pugilism Nino Brown said, not disrespect to Coppinger. I don't like that dude. Well, my wife is teaching me to be more subtle. And so, one day I was in the bed with her, and I was thinking about somebody, and I was like, God dog it, I want this motherfucker blown up. One of those moods. I was pissed off at somebody related to work, man, and my mind was just racing like, man, I swear to goodness, dude, I want this dude bipped. You know what I mean? And I was like, and my wife, she said, what? I was like, this nigga got me so mad, dude. I want this motherfucker to go away. And my wife was like, no, baby, that's not how we do that. We wish them nothing but the best, baby. We wish them nothing but love and harmony in their life. Because she's trying to get me to think no, you always stay positive and bring positivity into yourself, even when you're feeling negative about something. You know what I mean? So I was like, So I'm trying to do it that way. I'm trying to be like, hey man, no disrespect to Mike Coppinger. I understand what he has. He has a job that he has. What's going on, 817B? I get that feeling all the time with my boss. Yeah, it's like you just want him to go away, But my wife says, woosah. No, you turn it the other way. And that's when I know she's really mad at me. When she'll say, ain't you just the sweetest thing? Man, if my mama ever says to you, oh, ain't you just the sweetest thing? run for the fucking hills, dog. Run for the hills, dog. Don't you hate it when your wife thinks you're a better person than you are? Yeah. But my wife doesn't know. My wife knows I'm off the hill. My wife knows that I'm a little bit, she knows I'm prone to violence, dog. My wife knows that I'm very, very prone towards it, man. When I was younger, obviously now, ain't nobody really trying to get into that. But back when I was 24, 25, we were very prone to fights, man. Very, very prone to violence. Didn't mind it at all, was actively seeking it. In many cases, actively seeking it out, But, as we get older, we get wiser and we want to live. I made it to 52. A lot of the cats that had that attitude, the same attitude I had in my 20s and 30s, they ain't here no more. You know what I mean? Because they brushed a little too close to it, I've always been fortunate to have really good women in my life that always protected me from all of that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Always put me down on game, try to keep me relaxed, or whatever. You get my point. Said what's positive to you could be negative to someone else. It is. Yeah, absolutely. Great observation. And my man, one hit a quitter, man. Thank you for the birthday wishes. He said, one, happy birthday, Fannon to Don, Beard Gang Gang. Yeah, man, I finally learned to trim it a little bit. It's still, it'll fill in here as it gets thicker, though. Thank you, one hitter quitter, and thank you for supporting, because that does big things over there on the Instagram. Thank you so much. And my man, King Vonnie said, happy birthday, fam. Thank you, man. Oh, dog, I like that suit. You out there gangster style in the tuxedo. Like that tuxedo. Hey, William Art, thank you so much, man. Martin, was that young ram looking for trouble? Yeah, dude. I was all, I wasn't always looking for trouble. I was just always hanging with dudes who was looking for trouble. You know what I mean? Like always, my friends were always either looking to steal something. You know what I'm saying? They was either looking to steal something or fuck something. It was like one of the other two that they were doing, trying to steal something or fuck something. And many of them both. But it's just, that's what it was. A lot of scammers, dog. Cats used to break in people's houses and, you know what I mean? And just, some cats, they just did, But they are my boys because they were more fun to hang out with than nerdy cats. So, but a lot of them cats wound up, actually they all wound up really rich. Actually, I'm fucking bugging. The only ones that I knew that really got killed were the rappers. The ones that were out there scheming and scamming, for the most part, they just got rich in life. They stopped scamming, went to work for professional organizations and scammed for them. And now, since they scammed for them, they made good money. Your B-Day a week before my daughter. That's what's up, man. 817 Boxing B said, Fannon, happy birthday, Fannon. Thankful for you and what you do. Thank you very much, man. And thanks, Oak Park Boxing. Hey, man, I'm cool with the LDBC. Rock with the LDBC. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what all that shit's about, quite honestly. I make videos and keep pushing it. Rest of that is up for other people to talk about whatever they want to talk about, bro. That ain't on me. I come on live 8 o'clock in the morning. I talk boxing, and I keep talking boxing. And with the same people I've always talked boxing with. Anyway, back to Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, man. Canelo Alvarez is going to have to fight somebody, dude, or he's going to get what he deserves, man. I don't think that this dude should be able to, like, how many ways did they come up with to play favorites with Canelo Alvarez? What is this? You in your own lane, though? Dude, let me tell you, man, my lane is black people, man. I ain't never been shame about it. What I like to do is I like to work to improve the lives of black people, regardless of what it is. If it's in a professional sense, that's what I do. When I do with boxing, that's what I do. This is what it is. I had like 15,000 subs before I ever talked and communicated with the LDBC. But I've always supported the LDBC. I'll still support the LDBC. All of that other stuff is nothing about, other than some stuff about MTK Global and whether or not I support MTK Global and them coming into the United States. Other than that, dude, I don't understand what any of the bullshit's about because I don't really pay attention to that shit, man. We talk boxing every day, and we put out a lot of boxing content, and the whole focus of the fight, of the whole thing, is the boxing fans that watch the channel and the boxers that make the fights. And that's just what it is, you know what I mean? And it's always going to be a boxing community. YTBC is the YouTube boxing community. What is it? New Media. There's the LDBC. There's all kind of great. There's Uji Bougie, whatever the hell that dude over there does. You know what I'm saying? There's just all kind of people that associate with each other. But the point of the matter is that we're trying to help black fighters and get the fights for black fight fans. And that's just what it is. And any fucking name you want to put on it, put the name on the shit. It's cool with me, you know? But we keep pressing, man. We just keep pressing. But I press with CBD so I can be a little more calm. Ooh, like my CBD. Like what you said about Crawford investing in Nebraska. Other people ain't talking like that. Absolutely, dude. Look, man, I like Terrence Crawford a lot. When I was in Nebraska, I lived in Kansas City. I went up to Nebraska several times for tennis tournaments in Nebraska. So I got a good sense of who Terrence Crawford was. I got a sense of who he was and what kind of person he was. Man, get out of here, man. With all this crazy shit. Dude, y'all leave me alone with this shit. There's nobody that can throw me under a bus, man. Like, dude, if I have a disagreement with somebody, and I'm not even saying I have a disagreement with anybody, there's nobody that can throw me under a bus, bitch. Do you not get this? I've got 52,000 subscribers, dude. I do 100,000 views every 2 days. Nobody other than YouTube can throw me under a bus. Don't you understand that, dude? That I am an influencer in the sport of boxing in and of myself. Everybody that listens to boxing in the mainstream boxing media knows who I am. Every boxer that is a major world champion in the United States knows who I am. I know it. I've got world champions on my phone. I talk to world champions on my Instagram, on my Twitter. I am just known, bro. There is no bitch. There is no throwing me under the fucking bus. What the fuck are you talking about? I am Martin Blackwell. Nigga, I was bigger than you fuckboys before I ever picked up a boxing magazine. Who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers cannot. First of all, I got nothing but respect for these cats, bro. All of them. But, dude, I'm Martin Blackwell, dude. My family is been set, dude. Been set. Go check me in the Shy. That's what I tell you. You bums need YouTube. I don't need fucking YouTube. My people are in the Entrepreneurial Hall of Fame in Illinois. We've done over $500 million in business. Fuck off. I choose to do boxing because I love boxing. It's not what I have to do. It's what I love to do. So I wish you peons would fuck off. Just straight up. Fuck off. Find something better to do with your fucking time. No one can throw me under a fucking bus. It's not fucking possible. If YouTube took my channel away, they couldn't throw me over a fucking bus. I'd be on Instagram. The fuck are you clowns talking about? This is my birthday, and I have no problem to tell you niggas to fuck off. Straight up. I don't want you here. And what you're trying to do is try to find a way to make it like everybody in the world don't like me. Nigga, I got a ton of fucking friends, bro. I get a ton of fucking support, man. I get thousands and thousands of positive comments every day on multiple fucking medias, multiple media platforms. I don't need your friendship, homie. I don't. So fuck off and get a life, man. Go complain to other people. The only thing that I've ever heard from anybody in the LDBC is that they're sick of hearing from trolls. Hey, Fannon, what are you doing? These trolls keep talking. They're fucking trolls. That's what trolls are supposed to do. They're supposed to talk. They're supposed to spread rumors. They're supposed to gossip. That's what you guys are supposed to do. So do your fun job. Don't expect me to give a fuck, though, because I don't. Like I said, I'll be to 100,000. I'll be to 100. God willing, I have the health. I'll be at 100,000 subscribers in a couple years because I'm going to continue to put the work in. You continue to put your work in bitching about the work that I'm putting in because I'm putting work in. Are you? These trolls content for their whack ad. Oh, these trolls looking for content for their whack ass channels. That's it. But I don't mind talking about it every once in a while because shit, it fills up the fucking space in the conversation sometimes. But trust and believe. I have done everything. There's no person that you can point to on YouTube that I have interacted with that did not get more out of the relationship than I did, without exception. I make sure my relationships are always that way. You cannot find two people on this earth that have gotten more, that I got more from than I gave to them. And if I have given you more than you've given me, then I don't need to hear any goddamn complaints. What are you complaining about? You got more out of the deal than I did. Right? And I keep things that way. I keep things that way with the content that we put out on the channel. I make sure I do good quality work to the best of my ability, and I do it consistently. And I don't lie to you, and I do my best to give you a unique analysis that may point to something that you've not heard of before. I try to give you intellectual value in the midst of conversations that would otherwise be bereft of it. What are you complaining to me for when I'm the one giving you the value? 99% of people don't super chat. And I still give game. I still give you game. I've told you, I've taught half of you, a good number of you how to read a contract. I've taught a good number of you guys how to negotiate. I've advised you how to get your accounts audited, both legally and financially. I see boxers doing exactly what I suggested in their negotiations with promoters. And I have received threats because of it. Not that they could breathe on me, whatever, with all that bullshit, but it still remains to be true. Who puts out the most value in their videos? I try my best to do so. And I'm going to keep doing that. Don't forget the cat paw technique, the fallacies. I've taught cats fallacies. I've taught cats finite math. Do you have any idea how much studying it takes to understand the things that I've explained to you dudes casually within the concept of boxing? It is what it is, dude. What are you going to do? Stop. And I'll tell that to every hater, dude. I said that shit to Steve Kim. I said that shit to Ring. I'll say that shit to ESPN. I'll say that shit to Yahoo. I'll say that shit to Eddie Hearn in his face. I'll tell that shit to Bob Arum in his face. None of those cats like me. Those are the cats that don't like me. Not some young black kids out here trying to figure out how they can make some money on YouTube. Not some YouTube channels that want people to stop fucking bugging them because you keep complaining to them about shit that they don't have no control over. Your constant harassment because of your intellectual inferiority to me, that's what happens with these media people. They're intellectually inferior to me. Intellectually inferior. They are not as intelligent. They're not as well educated. They don't present their material as consistently. They are not self-owned. So they start a bunch of bullshit with a bunch of little piss-ons. And then you think I'm going to continue to respond to the peons? No, I am not going to continue. I'm not going to have fights with peons when it's Dougie Fisher that I believe started all that black and Dominican bullshit. Because he's the one co-signing that dude. Steve Kim was the one co-signing that other dude. See, I'm not fucking stupid. The people that don't like me are the people who are the established media. They do not have the ability to debate me on their best fucking day. I will destroy them in a debate. And they are used to lording that over YouTube channels. They lord their education over YouTube channels. They say, guys like this, you're not educated. This guy here, he doesn't use the right verbiage. This guy right here, they're unprofessional. They're this, they're that. They try to treat YouTube channels as if they're sewer. But when they come and deal with me, I bash them. Bash them. I bashed Dan Rayfield. Bashed him. Not even close. That's a Hall of Fame journalist, and I toyed with that fuck boy. Toyed with him like a fucking booger. Puh, you're shit. And I did it multiple times. Multiple times. Because I'm the Harvard educated negotiator. I'm the one with the legal education. I'm the one that has done the big deals. You're a fucking troll, fat ass troll, talking about boxing. And you can't debate me. There are college professors that cannot debate me. I will bust them the fuck up and have busted them the fuck up. Because that's what the fuck I do for a living. My mind is exceptional. Exceptional. Not 150, not 180, exceptional. And that's what they don't like about me. So these clowns go around trying to start shit with everybody else, annoy everybody else, hoping that they can surround me with enough dumb shit to annoy me enough to leave. They ain't got the money to buy me off. I got more money than them. And they're broke. I got a better mind than them. I work harder than them. I have a better reputation outside of the sport of boxing than they have in it. That's the problem. And I don't want to hear no more of this dumb shit about the LDBC because it ain't got nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with Top Rank being fucking broke. You're fucking broke, and you just had Teofimo Lopez get snatched by Snoop Dogg. And I'm going to tell it like it is. When I did that video about Canelo Alvarez, when I called Canelo Alvarez's contract a slave contract, they let him out of that damn contract that day. That day. Go look at the video that I did when I found out and I got access to those court papers and I read what exactly Canelo Alvarez was claiming. The mainstream media buried the lead. I did not. I told you what it said. I broke it down and I explained how it was a slave contract. And the very same day, Canelo Alvarez got out of that contract with Golden Boy. So stop coming around me, bugging me about some debate with 78, who I ain't got no problem with, and probably ain't got no problem with me. I ain't got no problem with anybody. The people got problem with me are the people that cannot handle me. You can't handle my mind, and that's the truth. You thought I was some local bozo that was sitting in my basement talking shit about boxing. You challenged me to debates about the law. You challenged me to debates about undisputed, lineal. You challenged me and lost debates to me about whether or not Gennady Golovkin had 22 title defenses. Man, the wrenches don't have to do nothing. Let them say what they're going to say. Let them be where they're going to be. Wrenches ain't got to do nothing. I like this. This is fun to me. I don't mind telling you because you guys keep bugging me. Mainstream media is about to fail because Top Rank is broke as a joke. Golden Boy Promotions is broke as a joke. And those are the people that, by and large, back up the mainstream media. Terrence Crawford just said that Canelo Alvarez shies away from black fighters. We are living in the year 2021, and this media cannot see that Canelo Alvarez is not fighting black fighters. They say nothing about the fact that Canelo Alvarez, out of his own mouth, said he wasn't fighting Mexican fighters anymore. He's not fighting Mexican fighters. He won't fight Jermall Charlo. He won't fight Demetrius Andrade. He won't fight Errol Spence Jr. That was treated as if it's a joke. And you're celebrating Rocky Fielding, Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith. And his next fight is who? Caleb Plant? 4? And we supposed to be missing something. 4. And then and Terrence Crawford says, it seems like you're shying away from black fighters. It seems like he's shying away from black fighters. How can you fight at 160 pounds and not run into a black fighter? How? How can you be at 160 pounds and 168 pounds and not run into a black fighter? He didn't fight Demetrius Andrade, and he could have fought for undisputed. That was undisputed. He had all 3 belts. His only fight that he needs to have to get undisputed is a fight with Demetrius Andrade. Did the media ever call for that fight? No. No. In fact, on DAZN, they said that we don't want the fight. Said we don't want the fight. How does that work? How does that work? Right? But what's the response to Terrence Crawford? The response to Terrence Crawford is, you've never beat as good a competition as Canelo has. Can somebody tell me what that is? That's a red herring. Who cares what Terrence Crawford fought and who he didn't fight? The question is whether or not Canelo Alvarez did or not. That's the question, right? But see, that's what I'm saying. That's the boxing media, right? He is a very well-respected and, relative to the rest of them, highly skilled journalist. But yet, that's his defense. And it is very easily slapped to the ground. Very easily slapped to the ground. Andrade pays... let me help you with this again. And I'm going to be polite on this, Salvador. Andrade praised Canelo. Okay. So what? What's next? What's next? Terrence Crawford has probably praised him. He's an excellent fighter. I've praised Canelo Alvarez. He's an excellent fighter. ESPN has praised Canelo Alvarez. He's an excellent fighter. They speak very highly of Canelo Alvarez. He still ain't fight Jermall Charlo. He still didn't fight Demetrius Andrade. See what I'm saying? That is a fact it's irrelevant. So what if he praised him? Nobody is saying Canelo Alvarez is not an excellent fighter. He is an excellent fighter. And I'm not even saying that Canelo Alvarez couldn't beat Demetrius Andrade or Jermall Charlo. I don't think he'll beat Demetrius Andrade, and I think that's a very tough fight with him and Jermall Charlo. Stylistically, though, I'll take Demetrius Andrade just because, dog, that's going to be very, very difficult. Very, very, very difficult for Canelo to handle Demetrius Andrade. He just throws punches from his foot. He's so agile. He's so big. He's long. He's big. He has very fast hands. He's coming from that southpaw stance. That's going to be very, very difficult. Williams Old School Arn said, why do you think he's avoiding black fighters? Just curious. I don't think that he's avoiding black fighters. I think that he's avoiding smaller, quick fighters. That's what I think. I don't think that in Canelo Alvarez's mind or in the mind of Oscar De La Hoya, who was promoting him beforehand. I just don't think he wants to deal with smaller fighters that are quicker. Terrence Crawford says that he shied away from black fighters, and the fighters that he shied away from are black. But he did fight Daniel Jacobs, right? But Daniel Jacobs doesn't really. Daniel Cartridge, you're just dumb. What do you mean black fighters don't sell? What was Canelo Alvarez's biggest pay-per-view fight? Canelo Alvarez's biggest pay-per-view fight was against a black fighter. But you think that what? Billy Joe Saunders is going to outsell Jermall Charlo? Or Rocky Fielding? You think Rocky Fielding sells? The fact of the matter is, Daniel, that right now Canelo Alvarez doesn't sell. That's who doesn't sell. He doesn't. Yeah, I forgot about Yaldemir. I mean, I didn't even watch that fight. I didn't even watch it. I didn't even count the Yaldemir fight. I don't even count the Yaldemir fight. But the idea that black fighters don't sell is just stupid, pretty much. You know what I mean? It's just pretty stupid, man. Just pretty stupid. Black fighters sell pretty much better than everybody. In fact, Errol Spence Jr. sells better than Canelo Alvarez right now. Doesn't he? He does. He outsold him in Dallas, Texas. Outsold him. Does that count as him selling? See, you just are in protection mode. Look, there's nothing wrong with criticizing a fighter. Dude, there's nothing wrong with critiquing your fighter, man. You don't have to be blindly in love with your fighter and not say that there's nothing that they could do wrong. Dude, Canelo is not fighting the fights that he needs to fight. And that's just point blank period, okay? He's jumping from 160 to 168 to 175, back to 168. At 175, he didn't fight Arthur Beterbiev. If he wants to fight at 175, cool. Fight Arthur Beterbiev. Right? If he can fight Canelo Alvarez, if he can fight Sergey Martinez, what's his name? If he can sell, what is this motherfucker's name? If he can fight Sergey Kovalev, what's the problem, man? What's the problem if he can fight Sergey Kovalev? Right? Why is Sergey Kovalev has a better resume than Arthur Beterbiev? Stay at 175 then and clean that out. Is he doing that? No. And why? Because he's going to lose Arthur Beterbiev. He went up there, I just want to get up there to say I got a belt against the third best guy. Okay. Applause. You know, but hey, I said the same thing about Mikey Garcia. Dude, you're a lightweight. You're the lightweight champion. Dude, fight Vasily Lomachenko. But he went up to 140. He came back down and fought Robert Easter, right? Then he went to 147. But, dude, how about you clear out your weight division? You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez beating Rocky Fielding says nothing about what he'll do with Jermall Charlo. Nothing. And in fact, only a casual fan, that's some casual shit. Sorry. That's casual shit. when you just assume that moving up weight classes means you're fighting better competition. Dog, that's not true. You can move up weight classes and to duck competition for sure. Because styles make fights, man. And Canelo ain't gonna, I'm telling you, Canelo don't want to fight Errol Spence. That is not going to be a good fight for him, man. I personally think there's something wrong with that dude's knees, man. Tank gets shit for his choices. It is what it is. Boxnard, Fannon, why doesn't Canelo want to fight Mexican fighters? All I can tell you is what he said is that he didn't want to fight against fellow Mexicans anymore. I think he felt like, no, he wants to be one with his Mexican brothers, and he doesn't want to fight Mexicans anymore. Well, okay. Errol Spence says, hey, I want to be one with all Mexican people. That's why I'm not going to fight you anymore. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Well, if he's not going to fight Mexican fighters because he loves Mexicans, well, hey, shouldn't we all love Mexicans? I guess Mexican boxing's out of business. I mean, it's just some shit that just doesn't make sense, man. It just, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense, but knock it out. Yeah, I know Canelo's Mexican, but what does that have to do with fighting Mexican fighters? He needs to fight. If there's a qualified Mexican fighter, dude, he needs to fight the Mexican fighter, man. David Benavidez, if he's going to be a champion, if David Benavidez becomes a mandatory for the WBC, then Canelo Alvarez should fight him, whether he's Mexican or not. I mean, seriously, don't you guys understand how stupid this shit is? Don't you? Kind of see how stupid this shit sounds? Really, really see how stupid this shit sounds? This is not something that Canelo can really be excused from. Doesn't matter the skin color, just fight the best. Dog. Bullshit, it don't matter skin color because they keep saying they're not the best. You had Ring Magazine saying that Josh Warrington was better than Gary Russell Jr. No, dude, fuck that. Because you guys are saying that black fighters aren't the best. No, not best fight the best. Because, or no disrespect to the channel, best fight the best. But no, because no, motherfucker, you fight the cats that you know you need to be fucking fighting. Fuck best fight the best. He need to fight Jamal Charlo. That's who the fuck he needs to fight. Okay? I don't want to hear that dumb shit. Who does he need to fight? He needs to fight Jamal Charlo. Period. Who does he need to fight? He needs to fight Demetrius Andrade. Period. I don't give a fuck about who you think is the best. Because you guys will argue till you're blue in the face that Jamal Charlo ain't fought nobody if I go that way. Fuck that. Because then we got to sit around and spend all day talking about who's the best. I know who the best is. The best is, at 160, is Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, and Canelo Alvarez. I know that. And enough for me to know it. For me to sit here and wait for all you guys to come around to what? Some consensus? That's that stupid shit Dan Rayfield said. Consensus. Consensus said. Who's the consensus of who? Who's the consensus? I don't remember the quiz. No, but I don't remember asking me. There was what? How many boxing fans are there in the world? No, say there's 50 million. Somebody took a poll of all 50 million and told you that Josh Warrington is better than Gary Russell Jr.? Why am I mad, bro? I don't know. Why'd you get blocked? I'm mad. I stay mad. I stay mad. Crawford is ducking Spence, but you had a great Crawford is ducking Spence, but you had a great spin on that story. Ziz. Nah, he's not ducking him yet, though. Technically speaking, he's not ducking yet. And I keep that little gem to myself. But technically speaking, he's not ducking. Because Errol Spence Jr. still has one more fight to get that third belt. Because that's what Errol Spence said. Errol Spence is very clear that he's not fighting Terrence Crawford next. So that's just an absolute fact right there. I don't think that anybody could slip past. That Errol said He said, why you blocked? Why you toss up out this joint? Dog, I love this live stream. Damn, this shit's fun. Woo-wee. Thank you, Broderick Hunter. Oh, and by the way, thank you to everybody that has wished me happy birthday here. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for supporting the Instagram channel through the super chats. You guys have been the best, man. Jonathan Lovegren, if you're not talking to me. Okay? You're not talking to me. But I'm going to kick you out because all this white fighter shit. Stop. Okay? I'm blocking you because you're bringing that shit up like that. I was very clear that I don't think Canelo Alvarez is scared to fight black fighters. I don't think it is. I think he doesn't want slick fighters. And I did the fight, and I said the same thing in a video about Billy Joe Saunders. Because Billy Joe Saunders is going to test that. He's going to test the mobility of Canelo Alvarez. But the only thing with Billy Joe Saunders is that Billy Joe Saunders doesn't have a lot of pop to his punches. So Canelo, it can probably just walk through him a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's, I think, what Canelo's going to try to do is cut off the ring and walk through Billy Joe Saunders, right? But if Billy Joe Saunders has enough pop in his jab, has enough pop in his I'm sorry, he's a southpaw, so he has a pop in his right jab and a nice pop in his straight left, and he can keep Canelo honest, then he's got an opportunity to win that fight. But if not, he's going to get walked down. But I still believe that is a good fight for Canelo Alvarez. I don't think, and I'm gonna say it again, I don't believe Canelo Alvarez is the type of guy that will avoid black fighters. I don't. I just think that they don't want slick. They don't want very mobile fighters and smaller fighters, because Canelo Alvarez has a speed advantage over the bigger fighters that he doesn't have over smaller fighters. And you hear fighters talk about that all the time. Sean Porter said that. Sean Porter was like, when I fought at 154, because originally Sean Porter started his career at 154. And he said that when he was fighting the bigger guys, they were a lot slower than he was. But when he moved down to 147, he was like, oh, the speed is a problem here. I've got to make sure that my speed is better. So moving up in weight class can be an advantage for somebody, right, who may have difficulty dealing with speed, but has speed advantages over bigger guys, especially bigger guys that ain't toting big guns. Because Canelo's not – Canelo fought Gennady Golovkin, who was carrying some big guns. Jamal Charlo got guns, man. Jamal Charlo he's got something on it. He's got something coming at you. You know what I mean? Demetrius Andrade's got something coming at you when he hits you. That ain't like Demetrius Andrade ain't no pity pat puncher. He'll score, but when he lands one, there's some heft on those shots, man. Those guys are both better than Billy Joe Saunders. Caleb Plant is going to be an interesting fight too, because that's somebody that is very mobile. But I don't believe that fight's going to get made. Truth be told, I don't believe that fight's going to get made. I don't believe it. Or put it this way, I'll believe it when I see it, when Canelo fights Caleb Plant. But if he does, that's a slick fighter. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Now, also, you could have in that scenario, because I'm saying I do not believe that is Canelo Alvarez, that he doesn't want to fight white fighters. We'll also see what happens when Canelo leaves DAZN, because many of these fights are fights being pushed on him by DAZN, right? Because that wasn't the case before he got to DAZN. Billy Joe Saunders is a matchroom fighter. They're British fighters. Billy Joe Saunders, Rocky Fielding, Callum Smith are all British fighters. Those guys are all guys connected to what's his name? Eddie Hearn. Man, much love in that super chat, man. Thank you so much. My man, David Scott III said, happy birthday, Fannon. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And I apologize for the I know the early morning show really keeps a lot of people from coming. But I appreciate that you guys all listen during the regular part of the day. And for the people that watch it on archive, thank you guys so much for coming. And let me make sure I say something right here. Hey, my man, Amari Antiquity said, happy birthday, big bro Fannon. Thank you very much, man. You guys being here means a lot to me, man. Thank you. Andre Ward versus Canelo is the next super fight. Andre Ward is done, man. I don't think he's ever going to do that, man. And I wouldn't want to see that. I don't think I want to see that. Charlo 160 benching 225 like a safety. Yeah, dude is big time, man. Caleb ain't got any pop on his punches. Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. But I'm not saying that about Canelo. I don't think Canelo's that type of dude because Oscar De La Hoya is not that type of dude. You know? Like, dude, them Mexican fighters ain't got no problem fighting black fighters. You know, like that, I don't believe that. I think that they take pride. I think they might take pride in whooping American black fighters. Black fighters and Mexican fighters, I don't ever seen them really avoiding each other. You know, I just think that I think more than likely with Canelo, it's the combination of just his knees being gone, and them coasting out his career, making money on that DAZN contract. When he's outside that DAZN contract, if he doesn't do it then you can say, okay, maybe he is doing it like that. But you know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things that you can point to and criticize about Canelo Alvarez's career. A lot of them I personally do not just put firmly on Canelo himself, because everything that I get from the guy tells me, you know, that he's a decent dude. You know what I mean? He's a hardcore dude, because he did fight Lara. He fought Trout. He fought Mayweather. You know, he fought Daniel Jacobs. I know, you know, there was some little craziness maybe with my man from Austin, Texas, James Kirkland, you know, but he fought those guys. So, you know, I don't see any problem with it. You know, I don't doubt that he'll go back to fighting them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he has a... B. Wade said, you spoke about what Bud said on the radio yet? Yeah, well, I can go over it again. The two things that he said, man, did I get this? I hope I did. Hey, SSW The Watcher said, keep up the good work. Thank you for supporting, man. And thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, man. We on the grind every day, man. You said on my TV, and my phone. What is that? I'm sorry, I missed that, man. Gators 57 said, Charlo knocking fighters down with a jab. How often do you see that in boxing? Yeah. His brother Jermell knocked out Jason Rosario with a jab to the stomach. That was beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful, man. William Old School Arndt in that super chat. Thank you so much. He said, happy birthday and keep the facts coming. No doubt about it, man. We keep pushing it. We'll keep pushing it. Why are Canelo fans afraid to see him fight better competition? I think there's a knee-jerk reaction with most people to defend people that you're a fan of. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm a big fan of Deontay Wilder. And so well, let me put it earlier in my career. It's not so hard for me now to keep things separate, but earlier in my lifespan as a boxing fan, you know, definitely when I was a Mike Tyson guy, right? Mike Tyson could do no wrong, you know? He could do no wrong, right? Muhammad Ali could do no wrong except calling Joe Frazier a gorilla, right? It's just that's how you are when you're a fan of a fighter. So there's a lot of people and Canelo Alvarez, without a doubt, has a lot of fans. A lot of people that watch boxing because of Canelo Alvarez, want to see it specifically because of Canelo Alvarez. Like, don't get me wrong, Canelo Alvarez is most definitely a big force in the sport of boxing. And I think that that's just predictable, that's just predictable behavior for fighters, for fans of boxing that only have a certain amount of experience with it. So, like, when I listen to, say, Scrapbook Boxing, Scrapbook Boxing is a man, you definitely should check out his channel. Great channel. Scrapbook Boxing for really hardcore boxing fans that really like the history of boxing. He's a guy that in that regard is just on a completely different level for me. So when I listen to him, I'm just always taken back about how much credit he gives to all fighters, whether or not they were world-renowned fighters or guys that he would know that were fighting in clubs, right? He would still say, oh, this guy's a terrific fighter with a record of, 120, 68, and 15, something like that. But he's just a real true boxing fan that I aspire to be. So I'm sure that he would listen to my videos and would say, Fannon or Martin is just, he's just a little over the head. I can imagine what he might say about my opinion about, Deontay Wilder and the cheating. To him, it may be like, he got cheated, but, that's just part of the sport. And you know what I mean? He could just have, because of his maturity in the sport, just a much more mature view than me. So I don't really have a problem with Canelo Alvarez fans defending Canelo Alvarez. Just like I don't have a problem with Terrence Crawford fans defending Terrence Crawford. And why I've kind of pulled back on Terrence Crawford, because at a certain point, it's kind of like, for me, I won't say that for other people, but for me now, I would be over criticizing Terrence Crawford if I continued really to go at him, because I went at the dude for 2 years. There's literally nothing else that I can say that I've not already said about, the situation that could be construed negatively towards him. This particular portion of it, I think, really has, and thank you again for that super chat, William Old School Arndt. I hope you get what I'm saying, though, man. Fahim Sator said, Canelo wears braces on both knees. He ain't chasing behind nobody slick with any type of power. I think that is the essence of it. However, despite that being the essence of it, dude still got to fight, man. Hey, Cerebral Shadow Boxer in that super chat, man. Thank you so much for the support, man. It means a ton. Trust me. He said, happy birthday, Martin. Us old guys have to stick together. Glad you're back. Yeah, man. I'm riding with the old dudes who have an intellectual bent and the young dudes that want to get paid. Because I'm telling you, I can help you get paid, man. I can definitely help you get paid. Cameron Stowe said, Errol Spence is certified #1 pound for pound. I've been saying Terrence Crawford is the #1 pound for pound because, honestly, I forgot that I had Errol Spence Jr. there after beating Danny Garcia and overcoming that car accident. I'm trying not to just overdo my compliments for Errol Spence. You know what I mean? Like personally, I think Errol Spence's career is going so stellar that I have a hard time criticizing the dude. I really do. So now I just got to try to interpret what Terrence Crawford is doing in light of the reality, of the situation. Still, I'm going to tell you that Terrence Crawford has better bargaining chips than a lot of people are giving him credit for, Say, that I'm 50. Oh, say, you do know that I'm 56 years old for now. That's what's up. Hey, man, I'm going to catch up to you, dog. I'm going to make it there, man. That's what's up. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. And that way we'll be hollering at boxing till we're 70, dog. You know what I mean? And here's something about being old in the old crew. You remember this, you young boys. You're going to eventually get here. You're eventually going to get here if you live. If you live, you're going to eventually get here. So you need to hang out and listen. I'm telling you, 35-year-old guys, you need to listen. 45-year-old guys, you need to listen. You need to listen. See, one thing that I have experienced in my life that I really have, I think, a big advantage on other people is that I really do respect age. Like, I respect what people know, and I respect their seniority. So, like, somebody like a Roger, what's his name? Like, take Floyd Mayweather for example. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is he like 44 or something like that? So he's maybe like 8 years younger than me. He is made in his bank account, right? In his bank account, he's made a lot more money. A lot more money has hit his bank account than has hit my bank account, right? Without a doubt. But there are things in life that I've done and experiences that I've had simply by the virtue of having lived more days that he could use. Really. And obviously in areas where he is an expert, I would be like, ooh, I don't have as much experience in that. I need to listen to him. That's why you never hear me argue with Andre Ward about what he thinks about what's going on in the boxing ring. Honestly, I feel stupid. Like, I don't think I could get myself to hold a conversation with him. I'd just be like, look, man, tell me what the deal is. I just need to understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? But a lot of guys that, especially guys that like, because it gets harder to listen. Like when you're 20, in your early 20s, it was easy to listen. But, you know, it's harder now to listen because you have so much experience. But guys in their 40s, early 35s, dude, we got another 50 years to live, man. And there's still a lot of learning. There's still a lot of learning to do, you know? Said, this is the bottleneck generation and Canelo was holding the bottle. Well, they can get around him they could get around it. They could get around it like Deontay Wilder got around it. Deontay Wilder did an excellent job of making sure he didn't get a bottleneck. You know what I mean? Hester Aquatic said, I'm 37 with ears wide open, big bro. Happy birthday, day one supporter. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Because, you know, dude, it's like my mother and father are moving down to Texas. Can't believe my dad is leaving the Chi. Can't believe he's leaving the Chi. But coming down here to Texas, man, so just going to be able to sit next to my dad and talk to him about business. Like, I'm telling you, dude, the cat is just, you'd be surprised, man. One thing, like somebody might appreciate this, right? If you've ever done any billing for it, like on a contract, there's something called getting paid net 30. So when somebody would say, hey, we're going to pay, what was it? I'm going to pay you $150, net 30 from receipt of invoice. You know what that means? I'm going to pay this net 30 from receipt of invoice. So I was like, most people write that, it means, oh, you're going to get paid within 30 days. Right? And I was like, no, that's not. Why would you have net there? Right? Net means that you must have given them some discount, and then the remaining is going to be paid within 30 days. So like, but so many times, but here's the thing, colloquially, like the way people use it all the time now, they write that. But when I talk to my dad, who, you know, has been in IT and has been doing this stuff, you know, since the mid-1960s, he was like, you're right, son. They don't know what they're talking about. This is when you use net. It's when you say, hey, you're trying to encourage somebody to pay you early, which is why I'm saying, dude, Terrence Crawford, there's so many ways to skin this fucking cat. Like, so many ways to skin the cat, dog. Anyway, so when you have big contracts, right, and say you've got a big deal with, like say you have a $1 million a month contract or a $10 million a month contract with Boeing, right? And you want to incentivize Boeing to pay you quicker, right? So you can say, I will give you a 5% discount if you pay upon receipt of invoice. Net will be paid in 30, right? So that's saying, all right, I'm the customer. Oh, okay, I've got $6 million to give you. So give me a 10% discount on the $6 million, which is a $600,000 discount. Boom, and then I'll pay you the other $4 million within 30 days. So it gives an incentive to somebody you're doing business with to pay you early, and then say the net will be there later, right? But you hear, like, unless you're actually dealing with some people that have a lot of experience, dude, you will never learn as quickly. Like, I was talking to an attorney one time, like, he just kind of got me. I never realized this, that when you deal with big organizations, like a really big organization, dog, first of all, you can negotiate with them. But when this particular contract with like Boeing, they said that, you know, there's something called an indemnification clause, right? Which means if my employee dies on your site because some big shit drops on their head, right? Then you're going to indemnify me against their, charges, from their claims from their family, right? for wrongful death or whatever. But what Boeing will do, or the big company will do, is in another section, they will ask you to name them on your insurance, which completely nullifies the indemnification, right? How are you going to ever get that, right? If you're not talking to people that have been in that industry for 20, 30 years. It's just not possible, man. You're not going to, because even if you have a plain reading of it, you don't really understand how it works together until you've gone around that block 5-6 times, man. So, I mean, I can say that is a really big opportunity for young people to make advancements in their life simply by seeking out older people and shutting your mouth and listening to them talk for as long as they want to talk, because that's what they like doing. They're not working anymore. So they'll talk for hours. They'll go through all of their stories for their work and the different contractual situations that they've had, the problems that they've had here and there. And if you're a real sponge for it, I promise you, you're going to see many of those same things happen to you in your life. But what young people do is we are always trying to, said that's why my indemnity insurance is very important. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's always important to really go through all of that type of stuff. But anyway, man, sorry, I got off of boxing for a second. Sammy Southpaw said, people expect Charlo, who's the WBC champion at 160, to move up to 168 to probably fight the toughest guy at 168 for no title or anything. I can see how Benavidez benefits, but not Charlo. I mean, that's an argument for it. Yeah, there's nothing really. I can see why he wouldn't move. He's not going to drop his belt to go fight David Benavidez at 168. That's kind of like saying, right, that God dog, that Errol needs to drop his belt to go fight, I don't know, Erickson Lubin or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Even though Erickson Lubin got knocked out by it, but you get my point. Somebody that's not necessarily, a top guy, Raji in the building. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Emmanuel Joseph Bain said, happy born day, Mr. Blackwell. Thank you so much, man. Sammy, by the way, DB never called out Jamal. Charlo said he would break David Benavidez's neck. There you go. But it is, hey, man, it's a good argument. I mean, it's good for David Benavidez. The conversation is good for David Benavidez, for sure. The conversation is very good for David Benavidez. It's a good conversation because it keeps his name relevant. I think that that's good. I think that that's good marketing to bouncing it across each other. You know what I mean? I don't really have an issue with it as far as, the camp saying that they want to fight each other. I think that that's a fight down the road that should happen. But David Benavidez needs to get his WBC, a shot back at that WBC. I don't like the fact that he lost that belt like that, though. Really, I would think, well, first of all, daggone well if that was Canelo, they would have given Canelo, they would have allowed Canelo to fight a non-title fight. It seems to me that the WBC wanted to get Canelo that belt. I didn't like that at all, dude. Benavidez better fight Beterbiev. Well, they're different weight classes, but yeah, that's a really good fight. I would take David Benavidez over Beterbiev, I think. From a style point standpoint, I think I would. Joe Jack said, happy birthday, Fannon. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the support. And I'm getting older, and I'm actually going to start celebrating my birthdays, man. Never know how many more do we have left of it. You know what I mean? No, we never really know. Beterbiev is the second best pound-for-pound boxer after Spence. You think so? That's pretty high. I think he should be in there, though. I don't know. I need to look more. There's so many fighters that pound-for-pound list is so difficult to do because there's so many different facets to every fighter. Ronald Graville bum drop Benavidez. Yeah, but Benavidez beat the tar out of Ronald Graville. And I don't know, did he knock him down? I think that wasn't too big of a deal, man. Mo City Menace said WBC would tell Canelo, you have a few grams of coke in your I said you got a full gram of few grams of coke in your system, yeah, they would never have punted. Canelo wouldn't have lost his belt like that. And that's, that's a problem in boxing, man. That's a problem. The inconsistent application of the rules is a problem, man. Emmanuel Joseph Bain. Benavidez should have petitioned the WBC to get his belt back or fight Canelo like Yildirim did. That shit would have been denied. That shit would have been denied. But Turbiev gets dropped almost every fight. I got to look at it, man. I didn't notice that. But he has a suspect chin. If he's got a suspect chin against David Benavidez, he's going to get knocked out. Because David Benavidez can crack, man. His hand speed is bananas. Absolutely bananas, dude. B-Boy Pop 97 said, WBC, we back Canelo. All day, every day, bro. All day, every day. They back Canelo. But you know what it is? The problem is the way that the sanctioning bodies are set up. As long as sanctioning bodies have to rely on the fighters, on the promoters to pay their checks, then you're going to wind up having that situation because Canelo Alvarez, he's the one that is bringing in the big revenue, Now, that doesn't explain, however, the odd treatment of, say, guys like Errol Spence Jr., but maybe that's because, is Canelo only the WBC champion? I think he might only be a WBC champion. Is that right? Or is he did he get the WBA off of, did he get the WBA off of, what's his face? I don't know, man. I don't think everybody's ducking Devin Haney, man. I don't think so. I think he needs to fight Teofimo Lopez. But Javier Fortuna's not ducking him, and neither is Jorge Linares, so we'll see those fights. I'm confident that Devin Haney will win those fights. But I don't know, man. I think that everybody's ducking Haney. I think that that's just, I think that there's a lot of media content pushing that narrative for sure. And maybe it's true. Maybe the narrative is true. And I'm not seeing underneath it. But I was listening to Vasily Lomachenko, and Vasily Lomachenko was like, I'll fight him. They said they sent a contract. They never sent a contract. And then when we said, hey, yeah, then we found out that they already had a fight set. That sounds somewhat similar to me to what was going on with Gervonta Davis. Not Gervonta, Gary Russell Jr. So I don't know. I just think a lot of these guys, I don't know. I do know. I think that right now, and this is no shot at Devin Haney, I think that they're doing things that work. I think that they're into doing things that work and things that are successful. And there's a lot of boxing talk that goes on every day, and I know for certain because I do a lot of boxing talk every day. And, conversations, rivalries, and things like that, they sell tickets. Rivalry sells tickets, right? At least it gets views. It gets your name out there. And Devin Haney would be significantly less well-known if he was not talking about fighting Gary Russell Jr., if he wasn't talking about fighting Vasily Lomachenko, talking about fighting Teofimo Lopez, right? And I don't doubt that Devin Haney himself would fight each and every one of those guys, right? But it is definitely, he believes in marketing himself. And he's doing an excellent job of that because he's getting paid very, very well, right? I do believe he makes more money than Teofimo Lopez. So, I'm definitely not going to hate on that aspect of it. You know what I mean? At the same time, the other fighters that want the fights, I'm just not going to tear at them. You know what I mean? That's why I did not go in on Gary Russell Jr. because I believe that Gary Russell Jr. would have fought Devin Haney if the situation was right. Just like I believe Devin Haney would fight Gary Russell Jr. if the situation was right. But I'm not gonna confuse the marketing aspect of it and get so embroiled in it that I'm gonna attack the individual fighter. At least that's what I'm talking about. Man, come on, Neely, why you hating my man? See, a little white stuff. But look, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Look, thank you to everybody that supported on the chat today. Thank you guys so much for your birthday wishes. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m. Make sure you check out the videos that we do come up the rest of the day. And with that, we out. Peace.